and circle silently on the wind as we think about who to ask. At this point, you know enough intimidated humans that someone should be able to give you information. It doesn't take long either. Calyx is the High Mage, whatever that is. He's supposed to be fairly powerful and very proud. Someone who likes to succeed and doesn't have patience for rivals. You're going to have to go to the High Tower of Wizardry to see him. Do you plan to kill him or talk first? Talking is always the best option. See, communication is the key to running a kingdom. Communication. The tower isn't far at the speeds you fly. Less than an hour away. You land in the courtyard, and there's no doubt that everyone knows you're there. A cowering servant is pushed through a door to find out what you want. Do you want to demand to see Calyx, or ask more politely? If we demand to see Calyx, and he in fact is the evil wizard we think he is, he's going to immediately realize why we're here, and he's just going to set up some kind of evil thing to kill us. If we ask politely, he's going to suspect it, but he is not going to immediately act. Let's ask to see him. Get him closer to us, so that he's within our range of fire breath. Servant is clearly terrified. Bring me Calyx, human. He and I have a problem to discuss. You prepare yourself for battle. If Calyx is brave enough to accost you now, you won't be taken by surprise. Calyx strides out the doorway into the courtyard, his body sheathed in magical fires that he thinks will protect him from you. He seems cautious but not afraid. It is an honor to meet you, Jim, he says in a clear voice. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Try to kill me. Or, why are you trying to kill me? Or, how many dragons have you killed? Let's just say, why are you trying to kill me? Calyx looks surprised. I'm not trying to kill you. I don't know. That would be stupid. Why would I do that? I agree with him. Maybe he's telling the truth. Let's find out more. That's not what your conjured beast told me, as it tried to kill me. Your anger shakes the tower's stone. Conjured beast? Your Majesty, I don't do conjurations. I specialize in transmutations. I can change a housefly into an ogre, or an apple into a pear. I want an ogre. And I have lots of houseflies. But I can't conjure fiends to set against my enemies. Wait, you just said you could turn a housefly into an ogre. Can't you turn a housefly into a conjured beast? Or an ogre into a conjured beast, or something? Obviously he's lying, right? No, he's actually telling the truth. He pauses. Why do you believe I did this? Are you not listening? Your creature told me before I killed it. He shut his eyes as if in pain. Jim, I apologize. I think an old enemy is trying to kill you. Or to use you as a murder weapon to assassinate me. She calls herself Magister Vermius. Although I don't know her real name. She's definitely a conjurer, and she can't stand me. Has she killed dragons before? I don't know for sure, but her staff is supposed to be made from a dragon bone. So the answer very well may be yes. We can ask for where the person is. Let's do that. She lives in the mountains, far to the south, and she wants this country as her own. Luckily, she's never been able to raise an army, since no one is stupid enough to follow her. She's crazy and very dangerous. Be cautious. So she's a generic villain. A different conjured monster is waiting for you as you arrive at your lair. Mighty Jim, it mocks in a wheedling voice. You may have been clever enough to not attack an innocent wizard, but you are not closer to your true goal. My true master grows more powerful while you chase his enemies. Come to the peak of Crooked Mountain tomorrow, midnight, where you will learn what is required of you, should you wish to live. Let's ask it some questions. It doesn't seem as smart as the last one. Maybe you can learn something. Who is your master? Why, I am summoned by the queen of this country you claim to. You cut it off mid-sentence by biting off its frog-like legs. It's decidedly revolting, as you bite into it, besides bug out of their sockets. Vermius said you couldn't hurt me. Vermius lied. Destroying the monster, you settle back down on your horrid annoyance. That was an annoying noise that my dragon just made. It definitely wasn't me making an annoying noise. So Vermius wants to face you on the peak of Crooked Mountain. You know where that is. The question is, why? Obviously so she could ambush and kill me. Makes perfect sense. You know that she used lies to manipulate her foes, and this seems like a classic trap. Not a lie. Do you want to show up at top mountain at the appointed time? Absolutely, by myself. Absolutely, taking the human wizard with me. Let's take the human wizard with me. Let's see if he wants to come with me. Some backup's pretty good. At the very least, he'll know about this enemy that we don't know about. Maybe be able to tell us something. Information is good. Having a wizard as backup makes some sense. You think he'll be willing to come? Why do we think he's going to come? I appeal to his sense of self-interest. Vermius tried to kill us both. Basically, this is very infamous. This is not very infamous. We are... Oh, we're 50-50. Okay. I hope this works. Sensible appeal. Finesse increase, says. Calix listens to your reasoning and agrees to go with the fight. Actually, it might have just been a finesse thing. You fly off to Crooked Mountain, with Calix clinging to your back. As you approach, you see Vermius levitating above the top of the peak. She smiles as you approach, holding up her dragon-bone staff in a defensive posturing and muttering a spell. There are 2 pentagrams carved into the stone of the mountaintop. They begin to glow, and reddish smoke rises up from the center of each. That does not look good. Normally I want to destroy them immediately before they did anything, but she is a trickster, and I don't even know if that's even worse. If you don't kill her before she finishes the summoning, it might be a little dicey for you. Turn into a dive to begin your attack run. As you shoot towards her, Calix shouts above the rushing wind, "Wait, Jim! Do not attack yet!" What do? We can ignore him and be a jerk? Stop short and blast Vermius with flame? Let's turn away and listen to him. Be smart. Veer away, and Calix explains. There is no human life there. I have reached out to change her blood to water, but I only sensed energy and illusion. Changing blood to water. That is a very good way of killing people. Blast away the pentacles and pay no attention to the image of Vermius. You unleash a blast of flame on each pentacle, softening the rock itself. The apparition of Vermius continues muttering her spells, but without the summoning circles, nothing happens. Calix nods his head sagely. I can trace the magic from the summoning circle back into its source. Vermius is some 50 miles west of here. If I can remember my geography, that's just about right for her to be casting from her tower. You knew where her tower was? Why didn't you tell me? 50 miles is an easy flight for you, so you turn towards the west, wings beating a slow and steady pace as you race across the clouds. This ends today. You fly to Vermius's tower. Tower is a heavy granite structure with large oak doors at the base. 5 flames glow at the top of the tower. Calix shouts as you approach. I would stay away from the top of the tower, Jim. I would wager that Vermius has prepared a summoning trap with those flames. If you land there, it will likely conjure a demon behind us. How do you plan on handling this? I forget what our stats are again. We are very finessey. Anything with a lot of finesse that we have? Let's see. Ignore him and go for the top. Tell him to weaken the tower so we can knock it down. We are not brutal enough that we can actually break the tower down. Smash through the main doors, or announce my presence and be all honorable. Let's smash through the doors. You smash through the main door of the tower and begin fighting your way up to the top. That's always a smart decision. That's what everyone should do. You know, probably facing our own little... Wait. Fighting in the cramped confines of a tower is difficult. It calls for more finesse than brutality. After you cut through some apprentices as if they were nothing, you reach Vermius. She waves her dragonbone staff at you and begins chanting tones into the wall that separate this world from the next. As you lunge at her, things that are not meant to be rally to her aid. Uh-oh. The fighting is brutal. Within the tight confines of her tower, you face dozens of demons, each more hideous than the next. But you are more nimble than she expected. After a long battle, you bite her dragonbone staff in two and eviscerate Vermius. Your wounds are grievous, but you have triumphed. I don't know if there's a way to go through this battle without any wounds. I know you can have even worse wounds, though, than just grievous wounds. It takes you months to recover. On the upside, you're able to loot her tower fully. Get a nice haul once we fly up again. What do we do with Calix? He's of no concern. We leave him in there. We eat him. Or he served us. We should give him a small share of the loot. It's an investment, I say. Let's go with that. Very honorable of you. He may yet prove a useful ally. We're not going to be able to enjoy that gold now, but we'll be able to enjoy even more gold later. Many years have passed since you seized control of this kingdom. It's becoming harder to resist your kind's urge to hibernate. Dragons typically hibernate for at least 10 years, perhaps longer. Some older dragons hibernate for generations. So, how are we going to leave our horde defended? We can set a magical trap for cunning, which we're not. We could prepare an elite squad of goblin guards if we are vigilant, which we're not. I think it's vigilant. I'm probably wrong, actually. Don't take my word for it. If we're very infamous, none would dare to steal our treasure. Though, oddly enough, if we're very infamous and we choose anything that's not, none would dare to steal our treasure. People would dare. Very strange. Or we could try to stay awake as long as possible. Actually, that's probably the vigilance. I think that this will make it so that they don't take all of our, they don't take as much treasure, but they still take treasure. Let's try to stay awake as long as possible, because that's always a smart decision. Call of hibernation is seductive, but it's not impossible to resist for a time. Each time you go to sleep, it becomes harder and harder to rouse yourself. Your nictitating membrane, also known as the third eye, starts to dry and crack. Powerful muscles begin to ache, begin to yawn loudly and frequently, threatening the lives of everyone around you. How long do you think you can stay awake? A century or more, of course. Let's say that. I'm sorry, but this just isn't reasonable, even for a mighty dragon like yourself. One night, as you drift off asleep, hibernation overtakes you since you weren't expecting it. You didn't make much preparations. You can only hope that your horde will still be there when you awake. As hibernation overtakes you, you begin to think back on what you've accomplished and dream of what lies ahead. Glory, treasure, loss, revenge, victory, soon you will spread your mighty wings, and the shadow of your majesty will block out the sun itself. Well, actually, it won't. The finest baubles will line the walls of your palaces. The greatest heroes will fall before your razor-sharp teeth. Soon, the whole world will whisper your name in fear and reverence. Jim. But for now, you rest and wait. You finished with the following stats. Yay! We finished. We are very, very finessey. Somewhat honorable. Somewhat vigilant. Not very known for anything, good or bad, I think. And we have -1 blasphemy, meaning the gods love us. Actually, it turns out that blasphemy has no effect on the game whatsoever, but presumably this is for the next game, Choice of the Dragon 2, which doesn't exist yet, and it may never exist in the future. Also, it says we have 0 wounds, but I'm pretty sure we did get a wound. That's very strange. And we also have money. Well, that's the end of Choice of the Dragon. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys will actually come over to Choice of Games and try to find a different way of playing this game, because there are quite a few. Anyway, bye-bye.